In this video, you are about to learn the 2 steps that you can take to ditch this work anxiety once and for all so that you can get way more done without the distraction of all those butterflies and sweaty palms. Do you have one of those never-ending to-do lists at work that you can never really seem to get through? Do you ever find yourself working faster and faster and faster to get it all done by the end of the day? Constantly thinking, crap, every single time you're looking at the clock because time is passing way too fast and you have so many more things on the list to get done. Your heart is pounding with adrenaline and nerves and all the things, and your mind is racing about all the things you have to get done, how you are inefficient, how you are already failing, and how your work just generally kind of sucks. And all about how you're probably going to get fired because you're not going to get it all done. And so you start to kind of circle the drain with all of those thoughts. Oh my God, even those thoughts are so distracting. And then someone has the audacity to walk up to your desk and ask you how your day is going, and you just snap. Can you relate to a story very similar to that one? Well, all that is work anxiety. And if you can relate to that story or a story very similar to it, then this anxiety is holding you back from truly being productive and living a life of fulfillment. If you have not subscribed yet, please take a moment to do so now and hit the bell to be notified every single time I post a new video that's going to help you to create a sense of inner peace and calm, even at work and even in the midst of your stressful as hell job. As a corporate dropout myself, I am all too familiar with this idea of stress, work stress, of anxiety, and how sometimes it helps us to perform. But I also know firsthand what this extended period of stress can do to the body and how it limits us actually in achievement. Over the past 8 years, I have had the honor of helping other high performers like myself to ditch this chronic career overwhelm, this chronic work anxiety and stress, so that they can create more fulfillment, more clarity, more confidence in their lives, even at work, even when they have tight deadlines, even when they have big projects, and even when they are under a huge transformation at the office. I've also had lots of clients come to me when they were in the throes of panic attacks. And through specific steps, they were able to end their panic attacks once and for all and to come into a place of inner tranquility. I want you to know that creating a sense of inner calm is absolutely possible as long as you have the right strategies for you. So let's discuss some of those strategies that you might like to implement now so that you can make inner tranquility not just some faraway dream, but your absolute reality. So here's my beef with a lot of the conversations that we're having right now about work stress and anxiety. Most of what is positioned as the solution just chases or suppresses a symptom of a root cause that is actually causing the anxiety. We can talk about our anxiety all day, but bringing awareness to anxiety doesn't actually solve the problem. In fact, what I found in my own experience was just talking about anxiety seemed to just grow it. At a certain point, continuously bringing it up and talking about it just made me focus more on the anxiety, and it just made me feel worse. Your problem isn't the anxiety or stress. Your anxiety and your stress are simply symptoms of a much deeper root cause. Might be an old belief, an old pain, an old wound, or trauma. Or even sometimes the anxiety can be an intuitive message from your gut. And this anxiety often looks like those racing negative thoughts, all of those doubts that you have, the sense of discomfort that you have in your body when you have those butterflies or maybe even a pit in your stomach. Anxiety can also look like a feeling of dread when you're about to walk into a meeting, or just a sense of hopelessness, like there's no escape, that you will always feel this way. I would love for you to start thinking about your anxiety and your stress like a fire alarm. A fire alarm alerts you of smoke, which can indicate that there is a fire. In order for you to deal with a fire, you're not going to go to the fire alarm and try to snuff it out. Your focus is probably on the fire, right? If you want to survive. I want you to start thinking of your anxiety in this way. Instead of focusing all of your effort on trying to quiet the fire alarm that is happening, which is your anxious feelings, I want you to start focusing on the root cause. What are you currently doing when this fire alarm starts going off? Maybe lots of wine, maybe you're an online shopper, maybe you are a person who loves to engage in lots of social media. These are all coping strategies. They're not actually going to solve the problem though, because they will not deal with the underlying cause. They are just numbing the sensation of the anxiety, thus quieting the fire alarm. And there is nothing wrong with all of these things, of course, in moderation. But if you're using it as a way of coping with the very real anxiety and stress that you are experiencing, you are just putting off the inevitable, and your anxiety and your stress will only continue to grow and make you feel worse. And it is up to you to be honest with yourself when these activities start to turn into coping strategies that you are using as a way to escape the reality of what is happening in your life. It might also help for you to remember that when you're feeling anxiety, it's just simply a message. It's not life or death most of the time. The reality is that it's just a message coming from a deeper part of you. It's not something that you need to be scared of or dread or try to suppress. Sometimes if we just sit back and listen to what it's trying to say, it will ease. Instead, we just push and try to smother it. And though anxiety is a very real and natural and beautiful and acceptable human experience and emotion, in my experience, I have found that it is not something that you need to feel every day at all times. It is totally possible for you to rocket in your career without feeling that anxiety. I have discovered this in my own life as somebody who had lifelong anxieties before I tried these strategies, and as somebody who also helps other women who are highly sensitive performers who do struggle with lots of work stress, that they can get to a place where overwhelm, the mental ruminating thoughts, the anxiety, the stress is not their baseline. In fact, your baseline can actually be calm. And though I have found ways to actually heal my anxiety and my depression, it doesn't mean that I never feel sad or have anxious thoughts. It just means that when I do feel that way, on those odd occasions, that I know what to do to soothe myself and to heal myself, and I know how to pay attention to the message that that anxiety is trying to share with me. I know how to transform my anxiety so that it doesn't take over and ruin my life and rob me of my joy. Though this was a complex process and it is an intricate process that I help my clients through, these steps that I took can be broken down into two larger categories to help you get started. And those two categories are release and transform. If you're excited to finally end the grip that your anxiety has on you, please like this video and let me know in the comments below, what do you think a workday would look like without this anxiety and stress? When you're anxious, what do you do to help yourself through it? Maybe you talk about it, or maybe you just overthink about how anxious you are and you tell yourself that you shouldn't be anxious and that you should just be happy. How do those strategies make you feel? The awareness of your anxiety is great. Talking about it, knowing that you're anxious is awesome, but that's not where we need to end our journey with our anxiety. We have a few more steps after we're aware that we're feeling anxious. And the first step in that is to release it. Now, this is probably the number one thing that I'm seeing that is missing in this conversation, and that's no surprise because I'm an energy healer, so I focus a lot on the energy. I have seen and felt what anxiety feels like in the body and what it feels like when we're able to let it go. And here's the thing, we have to release what is sitting up at the surface if we're gonna dig deep and actually do some real work. Why is that? Because you're incredibly triggered and you probably feel that pressure within yourself that just keeps building. You know, it's like when you're in a meeting and someone asks you to do something, or somebody puts something on your list, or somebody asks you a question when you're working away, like at the beginning of this video, and you feel that sensation like you want to just snap. That's because we all have this natural desire and need to release. But in our world, we don't really have any strategies. We're not really taught how to properly release. So we just kind of sit and wait for those opportunities where we can finally just snap. You snap at someone, you finger them in traffic, you drop the laundry basket, you just break down in tears. If we don't have proper releasing strategies, we're just going to continue to collect information, to bring it into ourselves, and it just continues to build and build and build with nowhere for it to go. Releasing also will help you to calm those ruminating thoughts, because a lot of the thoughts that are bumping around your head are just simply noise. They are not worth your attention. And often what we do is we'll chase down those thoughts and think, I shouldn't think that, I shouldn't think that way. Well, that's not how your brain is wired. But if you have a proper releasing process, it is going to help to release a lot of that noise, a lot of that junk that is floating around your mind, and create some space for your thoughts to flow more easily and for your brain not to be so full. Now, the point of any releasing strategy is to use the power that you have as a human on this earth, and that is the power of energy and your mind. So everything is energy, including ourselves, and we can use the energy around us to help us to release this stressful energy that we feel inside. And we can also use the power of our mind to decide and to create a sense of clarity and mindfulness. Now, I have seen firsthand how incredibly transformative working with releasing exercises can be on people who feel a lot of stress inside and who have lots of ruminating thoughts and who maybe struggle to fall asleep. And why does release shift us so quickly? It's because it operates with two of the most powerful forces that you have at your disposal as a human being. You are energy. Everything is energy around you. Working with energy allows you to shift your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual self, creating a really quick shift in your mood and your outlook, which can help you to feel more clear about your future and really boost your confidence. If you're intrigued by the idea of a releasing exercise that incorporates energy clearing, I have something for you that is absolutely free. It is the ultimate energy clearing meditation. It'll help you to quit stress in 15 minutes or less, and it is an absolute hit amongst all of my clients who have ever tried it. You don't even have to be awake while you listen to it. Sometimes my clients like to fall asleep to it. So if you're interested in giving that a try, you can grab it in the description box below. So the next step in your practical guide to ending your work anxiety once and for all is to transform it at its root. Like I mentioned at the start of this video, often when we think about ending our anxiety, we're chasing down the symptoms instead of focusing on the actual root cause. But now that you have released, you were able to clear all of that panic energy that's just sitting up here, and you were able to calm a lot of the thoughts that are keeping your brain up at night and keeping you feeling stressed out. Now, for the first time, we'll be able to see the root cause of what is going on much deeper within you. Without taking that first step, your energy is too frantic to try to discover the root cause because your mind is in fight or flight and it's going, I don't care what the root cause is, I just need to end it. So having that first step of releasing, which is a focus on calming and clarity, will serve you so much in this next step when you are actually going to do some healing on that part of you. Now, once you have transformed the root cause, you'll notice that you will have way less ruminating thoughts, that you will be way less affected by other people, and you won't have that same inner saboteur kind of whispering all of the reasons why you shouldn't go for that thing that you really want. You'll naturally have more confidence, and it will feel more effortless to step forward onto these next adventures in your career and in your life. But like anything, in order to sustain this shift, you must embody this change, or you are at risk to kind of revert back and to continuously be stuck in an anxious cycle. So I would really recommend that if you are someone who struggles with this chronic overwhelm and this work stress and this anxiety, that you do get some support on this journey, as it can be incredibly difficult to look at some of these wounds on our own. I would absolutely love to help you with that. you can click the link below in the description box to book in a free consult so that I can help you to more clearly identify the root cause and create your specific action plan to help you overcome it. Because unfortunately, this is a more detailed process that we just simply don't have time to get into today. And it does take a little bit more one-on-one tender love and care. And I wouldn't want to set you up with that without the proper support. Because as you know, dealing with anxiety and stress can be really difficult, and you deserve to be feeling safe and loved throughout that process. So I'm going to really recommend that you do get support, whether it is from myself or from a therapist or someone else that you do trust. In case you are eager to begin this journey and to start to identify maybe what the root is, I will give you a little exercise that you can try on your own if it feels right for you. Sometimes bringing awareness to the root cause, just giving it a stage, is simply enough for us to transform it. But often, bringing awareness is just the first step, and we need other tools and strategies in order to now transform the wound that we are looking at. So I want you to know that if you do this exercise and you still don't feel a shift, please know that there are absolutely tools out there for you. This is not where this process ends. However, it's a great opportunity for you to shift the power dynamic that your anxiety has over you. Consider yourself now sitting in the driver's seat of your car, and your anxiety, she has a back seat, okay? She can blab all she wants to. She can give you her opinions, but it is up to you to decide where it is that you are going and how loud the music is going to be so that you can drown out all of what she has to say. Your anxiety is not something that we need to hate or try to suppress. It's something that we can love and nurture, because often it is just a part of you that just needs a little bit of attention. So with that being said, here's a quick exercise that you can do. I want you to take a couple moments where you can be alone and undisturbed. And I want you to just take a couple breaths, get really centered, maybe do a meditation before this. Definitely do the clearing meditation before you do this one. And when you're feeling anxious, I want you to imagine like you're giving your anxiety a stage or whatever makes sense for you. And I just want you to put your hands on your heart or wherever you feel your anxiety. And I just want you to say anxiety or stress or overwhelm, whatever your word is for it. What are you trying to tell me? And just trust whatever answer comes up first. And then I want you to ask why, and why again, and why. And I want you to ask why 8 times. And most likely, it will be a crock of bullshit, because your anxiety is rooted in your fear a lot of the time, and it loves to lie to you and bully you. So the answers that you hear, please do not take them personally. But I want you to keep asking, because why is a very triggering word for many people. And this is meant to trigger those real beliefs, those real feelings within you. And once you get to the root, you'll probably get emotional, or you might find yourself like dodging the question, coming up with excuses why this exercise isn't going to work for you and you want to escape it. And that's perfectly fine. Just bringing some awareness to it. Maybe imagine sending that root some love. Maybe saying, it's okay. I'm safe now. Whatever it is that you feel like once you've hit the root, that anxiety needs to hear, give it some love, give it some messages. And if you're ready for more support after that point, I'm happy to help you. Or you can bring that to another trusted professional that you really love to work with. If you'd like some support on gaining clarity on this root cause of your work anxiety, on your stress, so that you can overcome it, so you can be free from this anxiety and work productively with clarity and peace of mind, I would love to help you. Book in for a free consultation with myself in the description box below so that I can walk you through these steps one-on-one, and we can create an action plan specific to your unique challenges. If you are curious to know more, if you have any questions, I am here to support you. Just click that link in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. You being here means everything to me. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it somewhat helpful, please let me know by liking it. It helps me in this world, and it also helps for me to understand and know that what I'm creating is actually speaking and helping you. And I hope that you will consider subscribing if you want to continue to hang out and get to know each other a little better. When you are ready to continue your transformation, I'm going to invite you to watch these guys next.